I know that Oracle has recently done some research that shows that customers that are engaged in the user community are not only more informed, but they're also more satisfied with their Oracle product.
Right.
I wonder if you have some thoughts on maybe why.
Yeah, I do. I really do, John, and I'm familiar with that study, and it really validates what I think most of us in the J.D. Edwards division sort of hold, at our core, and that is, it is about the community, and it is beyond the product in terms of bits and bytes. We like to talk about whole product, so it's not just the code, it's everything that surrounds that code, and part of what surrounds that code are the people that work with the products on a daily basis, whether they're deploying the products, or whether they're administering them, or whether they're end users, typing in work orders or things of that nature, right? All of us together are really part of that whole product. And again, Quest is a great concentration point for that, bringing together that whole product as represented in the community. So the users, the administrators, IT folk, I mean, this week has just been fabulous. I mean, I've talked across the spectrum, partners, everybody coming together to give their take, their angle, what they like, what they don't like. That's how we build better code that sits at the center, right, that we then wrap all these layers of whole product around. So community is very, very important, and it's clear. If you're engaged, you're going to be more satisfied because you're going to see that you have a voice and that there's value being added. And there's an opportunity, too, to share amongst one another. And I think that's what I hear that really resonates when I talk to customers. Why are you part of Quest? And they say, really, it's opportunities like this for us to share our experience, right, and learn from one another. Right. So that is really one of the key value props as far as I'm concerned.
Obviously, Quest is beginning, we've done some different things to begin to expand our offering, not only just for the technical user, but functional users and in different levels of leadership within the organization.
Yeah, I like what you guys have done with the CIO. You added the CIO track.
Right.
I think a year ago, and then this year actually grew. I was fortunate enough to sit on a panel this year. I thought it was great, just great interaction with sort of that next layer up, right? And there were CIOs, but I also noticed a few CEOs in the room and a few CFOs too. So there was a good mix of C-level people coming together, and we discussed some pretty heady issues, from security to, integrity of our own personal information and encroachment of technology on our personal lives. And there was some pretty bold concepts that were debated in that forum, and I thought everybody got a ton of value out of it.
Good. Well, we certainly hope so. And we've created the CEO forum and the Quest leadership community to try to make sure that we do have an offering for those decision makers.
Right.
But it's also really important to make sure that we get the entire team to conferences or to get engaged at least into the user community.
Yeah, I agree.
So I wonder too if you might be able to touch on why engagement in the user community is important from your perspective during a non-major release year, or the perception.
Right, yeah, so I'm glad you threw that last bit in, the perception, because how we delivered software 10 years ago, frankly even 5 years ago, is a lot different than software is delivered today. And what I would say is, while, at any particular point in time we put a number on there, we do that for the purposes of packing, shipping, and restarting a support shot clock, as we call it, the shot clock, which is really the amount of time from general availability the product will be fully supported in the market. I mean, it's important from that perspective, but not from the value that you get out of the software. The fact is, we've been delivering continuous value in between releases. So, like this week, there was not a major release, but there were 2-point releases that were announced that were chock full of new things that if you weren't here, you're going to miss some value that you could have added to your organization. So it's important to come every year.